Francesca, just tell me why you invited Ali and how you were part of this organization that invited him.
I'm actually the organizers, Watermelon University. It's just a group of people who organizes teachings with different speakers from Palestine to educate, to give informations, and they do it each few weeks. We invited him to speak, to give an education about what happened since 7th October, because we have a very little alternative voices here in Switzerland, and we want to educate the people about things that happen. We don't get the information in the mainstream media, and we want to offer the people in Zurich a place where they can get information that they don't get in the mainstream media.
Was there concern that he wouldn't be let in or that the event would get canceled?
Yes, there was. Yes, there was. Because it would not have been the first time. It always happens that, and Ali, he was banned from entering Germany. We knew this. The ban was lifted, and when Blake went to the airport to take Ali, he brought this paper that the ban was lifted. Ali brought the paper with him. Ali arrived in Zurich at the airport. The police investigated him there 1 hour before letting him in. They didn't tell him why. Ali said, what are you investigated? Yeah, we have an issue. They didn't give him a clear answer. And after 1 hour, they let him enter Switzerland.
Okay, so
But
that's where I caught onto the story, and I started to see on Twitter people posting about it in solidarity, arrested. So I quickly
That's
compiled something and I uploaded it to Instagram, and it started getting some traction. And that's when Melissa, I believe you work with Baba News, you reached out to me saying, "Could you just tell me what happened?"
There was like three guys in civil clothing with a civil car that came. They pushed him to the ground. They violently arrested him. They put him in the car. They drove away. And then no one knew where is he. So as a journalist, I contacted the police media department, right? So I contacted the police city department. There's three different police that I contacted. The city, they didn't reply whatsoever because it was Saturday. The media department isn't there. So I contacted the Kantonspolizei, the cantonal police. They told me three times they don't know anything about this name. They have no idea what I'm talking about. I would have to ask the Fed for it. So I asked the Fed for it, who also said, oh, we will check this and we will get back to you, but they never got back to me. So then again, I called for, I don't know, the fifth time, the cantonal police, because they were the only ones that were really picking up. And he again said, if it just happened, it takes time. And I'm a journalist. I know if it's something important, you don't tell me call back again and call back again. You check with your department, with the police department, you check what happened, and you get back to me. I don't have to keep calling you to ask for the information.
The two different organizers that organized the events with Ali, Watermelon University Saturday, Palestinian Committee Sunday, we published that we will make these events. Palestine Committee published on Wednesday that they will make the event with Ali there and there, this and this time on Sunday. Half an hour later, he got a phone call of the location. They cannot allow this event to happen. Some hidden actors pressured the location and the city, who is the funder of this place, that they cannot let this Ali speak there.
And I'm
Okay.
sorry, I just want to cut you off. When you say hidden actors, like if we're going to be frank, is it clear to you or to people in the community who these hidden actors might be?
Yes, I think we don't have 100% proof, but we think we know who it is because they did it other times. It's an organization, a new organization funded in Switzerland, October 2023, called Naim, Never Again is Now. And this is a pro-Israeli group that says that they fight anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism, and they have attacked since every location that every place that gave Palestine events a location after saying you cannot have. Why did you host these people? And they're tracking us. Hisham from the Palestine Committee called me and said, look, I got a call. We cannot make this event. Half an hour after he published it on Instagram, he had a call from the event. He cannot do it. So we thought, okay, we will publish our event for Saturday in the last minute, Friday evening. And we did it. We published it Friday evening. But Thursday, Neue Zürcher Zeitung published a totally defamation article about Ali, saying another time an Islamist is supposed to speak in Zurich, but the event was cancelled. He arrived yesterday.
Friday.
And yes,
So
yesterday.
he slept one night in Zurich, Friday to Saturday.
Yes.
He spent a whole night. It wasn't just hours later.
Yeah, he was just 1 hour investigated in the airport. They said they have to check things. They didn't tell him what, because we met him for a dinner last night. And he told us this. He was 1 hour in the airport and they said, wait, we have to check. There is an issue. He said, what issue? They didn't inform him. And after 1 hour, they let him enter Switzerland.
So the lawyer, she gave us an interview and she told us that essentially this is a great interview. Ibrahim will give it to you. It's all on camera. So it's better if you look at that rather than just me recite it.
Yeah.
But she essentially said something along the lines of they knew when he traveled into Switzerland that there was already a ban on him when he entered Switzerland, but they did still let him in. So she said this is like essentially they're taking him hostage because they know there is a travel ban, yet they let him come to Switzerland to then arrest him on the grounds that there is a travel ban. And in civil clothes, in a brutal way, like it's very unnecessary to do it like this. I mean, this is crazy.
What is this I heard about the immigration office, which is responsible for organizing his deportation because they don't work on the weekends. So now he can't speak at either of the two events, which were supposed to be Saturday, Sunday, right?
Because he has a travel ban, he has to leave Switzerland immediately. So this is what his lawyer said. He has to leave immediately. However, he cannot leave unaccompanied. Like he has to leave with officers from this migration office. They do only work during the week, Monday to Friday. So now Saturday, they're not working. So he has to spend the entire week the entire weekend in administrative detention until they work again to bring him to the airport.
Ibrahim, you're from where?
I'm from Gaza.
So you're from Gaza, and you spent this evening speaking to some community members who were there about what they think about this arrest?
Yes, I have interviewed the people there. Yes, what's happened, what they think. I have shocked because I thought in Switzerland it was, you can give a speech about what we want, but today it's when they kidnap him like this. It's the lawyer, she told me in the front of the camera, I asked about about his health, and she'd say, yeah, he was injured, they beat him, and they treat him bad. And I start to think, hello, but she say he's injured. She say he's injured.
So
Wait a moment. Yesterday in the evening, we have a dinner with Ali, and suddenly Blake, he say, look what Ansat said they publish.
Okay, so from what I
And
understand,
we look to the article, it was 22 minutes.
Melissa.
So what I think is very important to notice that the Israeli president, Isaac Herzog, who said it's a whole nation out there that is responsible, aka all Palestinians in Gaza are responsible and therefore a legitimate target. A genocidal statement that was also put before the ICC. This guy came to Switzerland, he got security, he was put on a stage, he was shaking hands with politicians, including the foreign minister from Switzerland. He was given a stage, he was protected, Swiss tax money went into his protection. There was 2 groups at least, probably sometimes, possibly even more, that filed criminal complaints that he came to Switzerland during this genocide, despite his accusations, despite the fact that he signed a bomb. And he can come and nothing happens. He's not arrested, he's leaving.
Right. So you're juxtaposing that with what happened to Ali, who's just covering and doing his job as a journalist. Okay. So Ibrahim, you're from Gaza. And you've been in Switzerland a while, correct?
Like 8 years, yeah, almost.
What does it make you feel watching these kinds of incidents happen over and over and over in Switzerland, where you say you believed there was free speech?
Up to now, believe me, I can't believe what I see today, what's happened to Ali today. I can't believe he's still in the prison until now, and he cannot go out as a journalist, and he can give speech everywhere in USA, and in Switzerland, the democratic state, they don't let him to give this speech to the students or to our people here. this is kind of yes, kind of okay. يعني when I was in Gaza, even with Hamas, I say many things. Oh, okay, they arrest me. They يعني but here they say it's. I still I have shock until now. I don't believe Ali until now. He's still in the prison and he's a journalist.
So
And
let
I
me
don't
ask you,
understand.
let me ask you this. Why do you think they arrested him? Why do you think they want to deport him? Why do you think
You
they
know, I don't think because he's a journalist or he's a, I think, first of all, I think because he's a Palestinian. And I start to feel that even here in Europe. When you say you are a Palestinian in front of some group, you start to feel the others, they look to you as a stranger or anti-Semitism, or
you're
they start to
suspicious,
think, who,
you're dangerous. I
yes, and
understand.
yes.
But specifically, he was coming, as Francesca told us, he was coming to do a teach-in. He was there to share information and knowledge. He wasn't there to do some vandalism or commit a crime. I mean, he was there to speak as a journalist about what's happening. Why do you think they wanted to prevent that from happening?
I don't know, but I have asked him yesterday many questions. He said, please, we can speak about this tomorrow. He doesn't say anything yesterday, but I asked him because I want to listen. I'm look forward to see this event. Why they arrest him? Yes, because they don't want the people, they don't want feed, they don't. When I look to their news here, they give so many fake news. They give so many bad news about Palestine and about about our, the Palestinian prisoners and how they speak about the Israel hostage. And yeah, it's clear. It's very. It's fake news. And I'm a journalist from Gaza, and
Yeah,
I
we know
can't believe.
205 journalists have been killed, their families have been killed, no journalists allowed to cover. Of course, I want to ask you, and
Yes.
forgive me for being insensitive if I am. Obviously, you're not in Gaza. I assume we're running out of time, so I'm going to end this soon. Obviously, you're not in Gaza. I assume your family is still in Gaza. Some family is in Gaza. When you watch what's happened, even with the ceasefire, what is the sort of major feeling that you find yourself in? Are you feeling
At
hopeful?
least, yeah, yeah. At least we have a little relief. At least my mother, she can sleep now. She can find little food, or she can, yeah, she can really, she can sleep. This is it. Make me also quite good and quite relaxed because all the time this during this war I was full of stress and yes, it's not easy to be outside of Gaza and. I raised there, I grew up there, and I left Gaza 2016. It's not easy. This is the first war I was outside of Gaza. And to see my mother, my family, I was saw them in the TV when because it's a massacre. It's happened to my cousin, to my family, and I lost so many members of my family, 46 person. So it's not easy to be outside of Gaza. I wished many times to be get there. I wished because it's more happy when I hear. When I was there, it's okay. I'm in the spot and doing something, you know. But here, yes, and I start to wish that when I during this war because this is the first war I was outside of
Yeah.
Gaza.
So I want to ask you also one last thing. We heard from Melissa talking about how she finds it shocking that the Israeli president can come to Davos freely, speak, and someone like Ali can't. Or, other Palestinians who went to speak at Harvard this week, a patient from Gaza who was supposed to speak at a university like Harvard was canceled by the Harvard Medical School because they felt that without bringing Israeli patient to talk about both sides, it would not be a fair conversation. What do you think about Melissa and what she thinks about that? Like, do you agree, knowing that the Israeli president who said that all of the Palestinians in Gaza are targets, what does that
Look,
make you
they have so
feel as
many.
someone who's there?
They have so many communicate, so many deals, so many. They have so many. They have good communication in Switzerland with Israel. They deal with information, with weapons, with everything. And yes, they don't want to lose that. This is what I thought. They can't. They can't arrest this Hochsov. Wow, I don't know who's his name.
Herzog, yeah.
Yeah,
But because they're not a
but
signatory to the ICC, are they? No, Switzerland is
so
not. It
no,
is?
it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, so Switzerland is, forgive me. Now I've lost track because like Poland is, but then they say they're not going to arrest him. But again, there was no arrest warrant issued for Herzog, if I'm correct. Yeah, there wasn't.
It's a clear double mirror. It's a clear for me. It's double, يعني it's a double standard or double mirror for it's not equal. They don't treat people equal. Neutral. This is what they say about Switzerland. This is what I believed before. This is a neutral thing to be new. But now with this genocide and what happened to Gaza, how can be neutral?
Do you think
How
that
can
the
you
Swiss
be
people
neutral?
think that they're neutral on Gaza?
Now this maybe new generation, I start to think no, with the social media they get more information about that. Yeah, because it's I don't know, it's difficult to say that.
Melissa, you were nodding. Do you think, if you can unmute yourself, do you think that Swiss
Yeah.
people generally, I don't want to generalize, but generally, do you think Swiss people actually believe that Switzerland as a government has been neutral on Gaza and
I
Israel?
think most people are very, very disinformed. So yes, I mean, actually, I think they don't even think that far. They don't even think, are we neutral, are we not? They just don't think about it. They just move on with their lives. But what I wanted to also add really is that the media, this is an attack on a journalist, but it's not the first time that Swiss media are attacking journalists. I work for Baba News. Baba News has been attacked also. And it's instead of siding with the more than 200 journalists that were killed in Gaza, they are attacking journalists to speak up for Palestine. And this is something that NZZ has been doing this entire time. They keep attacking journalists that speak up for Palestine, and not just journalists, anyone who speaks up for Palestine.
Wait, you're
They
saying
make
the
one.
NZZ, the news organization itself attacks journalists who speak up? What do you mean? They fire them?
I mean, I wrote an article. It's a very long article about the Swiss media landscape and its Israel relations. I spoke to many journalists from NZZ. Many of them told me that the articles that they write about Palestine get looked at by the chief editor and sent back to them to be changed. So there were stories I can unfortunately not talk about because it would be easy to identify which journalist it was. But
And what happened to you as a result of publishing that article about the media landscape?
Nothing happened to me, actually. I was surprised that nothing happened to me. I worked for Baba News. I worked for a big Swiss media outlet where I quit. I haven't really spoken about this publicly, but yes, I witnessed that this is not neutral, that the reporting is not neutral. And I witnessed that I myself they tried to silence me, or they tried to influence me, as you will. Like, it was not through reporting.
Yeah, I think we've all, sadly, wherever we've worked, including me in the US and a million other places, have either directly confronted censorship or self-censorship.
But they always make it in the name of neutrality, and that's the thing. They keep telling me I'm
in the
not
name of
neutral.
objectivity. Yeah, because
Exactly, I'm not neutral, and that is the problem. And they keep doing this, but they don't give a shit about the 205 people being killed. There was not one effort by Swiss media to get access to Gaza or to denounce the killing of journalists.
Francesca, I'm assuming you're also Swiss, correct? Yeah, could you take off your I think
Yes.
you're still muted. I just want to give you an opportunity to speak as someone who wanted to bring Ali to speak, and as someone who's Swiss, what concerns you about what happened to Ali and just what we've been discussing about the Swiss media's failure to report facts?
What concerns me is that there are obviously some actors that have a lot of influence on media and politicians that don't expose themselves. I would call them pro-Israeli or Zionist actors, even if they don't. And they decide what we can speak about, what we cannot speak about. They are not elected by the people. They are not representatives of the population by election. And they can decide, you can speak, you cannot speak, he can say, he cannot say. They decide things that even parliamentarians that we elected don't have a right to say. So this is not okay, you know?
It sounds like you're describing a lobby. Are these people Swiss? Are they from other countries?
There are Swiss because in Switzerland they're double citizens, Israeli, Swiss people who have bonds with Israel, Jewish Swiss people who have bonds with Israel because they have families there. In Israel, we have 28,000 Swiss people who have a double nationality who live in Israel, and this lobby is very strong. And Switzerland is very strong, connected also economically to Israel.
You know, we keep
And
hearing about the American Israeli lobby and the Zionist lobby in America. That's what gets most media attention. But the more and more I speak to journalists across Europe, the UK, even countries you wouldn't expect, you know, maybe Switzerland isn't so surprising to some people, but you're saying in Switzerland,
there's a big and very strong lobby. The first Zionist Congress happened in Basel, in Switzerland, with her. Yes, and I mean, there's a very, very strong lobby in Switzerland. I mean, the brother of the president of Israel, Yoel Herzog, he lives in Switzerland. He's the brother of the president. Yes, we have a very strong Israel lobby in Switzerland.
so the brother is Swiss or just Israeli? We don't know.
I think he's Israeli, but I'm not quite sure about him. He's the brother of the Israeli president, Isaac Herzog, and he lives in Switzerland, and he lives in Geneva, and we have UN Watch that is based in Switzerland, in Geneva, and I mean, this is a total pro-Israeli lobby. They make very strong lobbying in the Swiss parliament. We have this Elnet, this is the Elnet, this is like IPAG in